TV games. We take games seriously.
Hey, I've got a buried treasure here that came out for the PlayStation 1. It came out sort of late in the day on the PlayStation 1, but it's still worth checking out and looking for and going back and trying to pick this one up. It's called Metal Slug X, and it was developed by the folks at S&K, who are famous for creating all kinds of cool arcade-type experiences, and that's exactly what you're getting in this game. It's a scroller shooter type of experience where you're dropped in as a little sort of soldier guy. You're running through and you can shoot a variety of different weapons, machine guns, flamethrowers, bazookas, that kind of stuff, taking on all kinds of bad guys. But what's fun about this is that as that little soldier guy, you can jump into all these different vehicles, and it really changes up the gameplay. You can hop into a tank or hop into a jet plane and take on bad guys in the sky. Great cartoony graphics, very tough, aggressive enemies, really, really nice, lots of great explosion sounds and cool weapon effects. It's not a very realistic war game, and there's lots of great realistic war games out there, but if you want to change of pace, go check it out. It's Metal Slug X for the PlayStation 1. Today on Versus, we've got two samurai games. We've got 7 Samurai 20XX from Sammy for the PlayStation 2 versus Onimusha Blade Warriors from Capcom for the PlayStation 2. Now let's talk about the graphics for both these titles.
I mean, this really is the battle of the turds. I want to just want to start off by saying that. The graphics in 7 Samurai are really horrible. Onimusha, they're just kind of horrible.
Well, that's a little over the top.
Yeah, really?
Come on.
I mean, 7 Samurai, come on.
Don't you like the character designs in 7 Samurai? They obviously spent some serious money on building different kinds of cool samurai, futuristic characters.
They look awful.
Actually, I like those characters a lot. I like the animations.
I don't know what to say.
I like the look of them. I like the costumes. I like the whole design.
You like their 3-frame animation?
They have some pretty decent animations.
You like the circle underneath them that's supposed to be their shadow, because there's no real-time lighting at all?
I'll tell you what I don't like about 7 Samurai. I don't like that the environments are all gray and brown for the most part.
And there's no real-time lighting effect. Pasted,
but
unrealistic.
I did really enjoy the cinematic sequences. I thought those were beautifully done, and I thought that the character design was really nice.
But graphically, Onimusha is definitely the better game.
The environments are all set up with a bunch of different layers, like that old Guardian Heroes game from the Saturn, so you can jump back and forth between them. And the animations and the character designs, they're taken from the regular Onimusha series, but they've been sort of compressed and scaled down and you know, shrunken a little bit. It's not as flashy and cool as they are in the regular series.
I think they're both bad, but I'll give Onimusha the edge in graphics.
Absolutely, Onimusha is a better looking game. Now what about in the audio department? How do these two games stack up?
Look, they both have completely horrible VO. It's embarrassing.
Kotaro, what are you doing here?
I have the ears of the devil, you know.
They both have really kind of arcade style, you know, the one sword swish sound which you hear for the entire...
Yeah. There's more of them in Onimusha, though, because there's more creatures fighting and more people fighting.
The thought process behind the audio in both these games is
it's too bad in 7 Samurai because they licensed Akira Kurosawa's story and they wanted to build this huge thing. They spent a lot of money on this game and then they kill it with decisions like that.
Again, if I had to pick one of these piles, I would pick Onimusha for audio.
Onimusha Blade Warriors.
But it's by no means, you know, something they should be proud of.
Yeah, the audio is much better in that game. All right, in terms of the gameplay in 7 Samurai, what'd you think?
Awful. Completely unrealistic. Again, they kind of went for this whole kind of Contra vibe, the Final Fight vibe. Well, they pulled it off. They didn't pull it off.
They moved this classic samurai tale into the future, and they created this whole, you know, world for you to sort of explore. You walk into an environment. They close off the environment with 2 sort of green force field doors, and then you have to kill all the bad guys to open the door to keep going, and that's the bulk of the game.
No, it's very repetitive.
It drives you insane, whereas Onimusha Blade Warriors is a completely out of left field idea. It's very strange to be playing these really hardcore characters in this kind of kidified game. I mean, sometimes they're picking up little hammers and stuff, and they're beating each other with hammers and cartoon fans. And
the cool part about Onimusha, which they brought over from the other 2 good games, once you beat the hell out of somebody, you got to suck in their life force, a little soul sucking going on there.
Yes. If I had to choose gameplay, which one I enjoyed more, though, I would go for Onimusha Blade Warriors.
I agree with you there.
Okay. Now
overall, they both really sucked, and I wouldn't play any of them ever again. But if I had to forcibly be held down against my will to pick one to play, I would probably go with Onimusha.
me as well. And that was so beautifully spoken.
Thank you.
And true to yourself. That's
Thank
nice.
you. Thank you so much.
So scoring Onimusha Blade Warriors, what would you give that?
I give it a 5.5.
I give it a 6.5. And what about 7 Samurai 20XX?
That'd be a 4.5.
4.5 for me as well.
There you go.
If you've got a Jones for a samurai game, you might want to
And
check.
there's a gun at your head.
You might want to check out Onimusha Blade Warriors.
Today on the show, we took a look at Firefighter FD18 from Konami for the PlayStation 2. This game featured some very cool fire effects and a completely unique style of gameplay, but the controls could have been a bit tighter, and we didn't dig that cheesy voiceover all that much. For the Xbox, we looked at Wrath Unleashed. This unofficial update to Archon's a pretty cool concept, but the loading times are brutal, and there's no online play. On the GameCube, we looked at Pokemon Coliseum. On the plus side, this is the first 3D Pokemon RPG for the consoles, but to tell you the truth, Pokemon's a little bit more fun on the Game Boy Advance. In Versus, we looked at 2 Samurai games for the PlayStation 2. It was 7 Samurai 20XX from Sammy against Onimusha Blade Warriors from Capcom. We didn't really enjoy either one of these games, but if we had to choose one, it would probably be Onimusha Blade Warriors. In hardware, we looked at Hipgear's 8-foot extension cable with spool. Pretty cool idea. Unfortunately, it didn't spool all that well. On the Game Boy Advance, I reviewed Static Shock. I was pleasantly surprised by this decent platform action game. It's based on the Warner Brothers cartoon. It's good stuff.
Well, that's all the time we have for you guys today. It looks like the firefighting game was our favorite game this time.
Who would have thought?